Good morning, everyone. Chapter name is The Fort is Captured, but the line is that this is the story of Tanaji Malusari. This is the story of Tanaji Malusari. Now, Jijamata was standing on the okay, standing there and thinking that there was a fort in front of her. The 23 forts which Shivaji handed over to Jai Singh were still in the hand of Mughal. That time Shivaji Maharaj had treaty, he signed a treaty and he has given a 24 fort in the Mughals' hand. Then only he went to the meet Aurangzeb. In chapter 12, it was done. Kondana was one of these 23 fort. Jijamata was standing in Rajgarh. Okay, and in front of her, the Kondana fort was there. She was looking to the Kondana fort. और वहां पे किसका झंडा लहरा रहा था? मोगल का, मीन्स ग्रीन कलर मोगल का झंडा वहां पे लहरा रहा था. She was thinking that when my child will capture this fort and मेरा वहां पे झंडा महाराष्ट्र का झंडा भगवा झंडा केवा तिथे फडकणार. She was thinking like that. Means वो वहां पे जाके ऑरेंज कलर का अपना झंडा महाराष्ट्र का कब जाके वहां पे लगाएगा. Who? My Shiva. One day Jijamata said to Shivaji, Shiva, it is not safe to leave the strong Kondana fort in enemy's hand. She said to the Shivaji Maharaj, Shiva, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है कि इतना strong fort Kondana fort cannot be lived in the Mughals' hand. So please go and capture that fort. Okay? Shivaji was thinking on the same lines. He was very unhappy that Kondana was in the Mughals' hand. Both Shivaji and Jijabai Sahib were very unhappy about it. They were very sad that Kondana fort was still in the four hands of Mughal. They were very unhappy. Shivaji started making his plan. After this, Jijamata said that go and take that fort, capture that fort. Shivaji started making the planning that how I will capture that fort. He started making the plans. Who will entrusted with this task? It was very difficult to capture Kondana. It was very difficult to capture Kondana because so many Mughals were वहां पे खड़े थे, तैनात थे, बोलते ना. Okay. Then who came in mind? Tanaji Malusari. Who came in the mind? Tanaji Malusari came in the mind of Shivaji Maharaj. Not of the Shivaji Maharaj, one of the person in the court who was sitting there with Shivaji Maharaj discussing about the plans. They told that one of the person is there who can capture the fort, Tanaji Malusari. But that time Tanaji Malusari क्या कर रहे थे? अपने लड़के की शादी की तैयारी. Raiba's wedding was going on that time. He was preparing all the wedding ceremonies. Okay, he was attending the ceremonies. Then what did Shivaji told to that mama, Shalar mama? No, we should not disturb the Tanaji Malusare. Tanaji was Shivaji's comrade right from the beginning. पहले से ही तानाजी मालुसरे शिवाजी महाराज के काम करने के कमरेड थे, मीन्स एक सोल्जर थे. He came from the village Umret near the Mahad in the Konkan. He was very ever ready to put his heart and soul into any work assigned to him by Shivaji Maharaj. He was ready at any time. Whenever Shivaji called him, he is ready to go and fight for him. Tanaji was strong and well built, okay, and as clever as he was brave. He was passionately devoted to Shivaji. जैसे कोई शिव शंकर को डिवोट होता है कि भक्त, डिवोट मीन्स व्हाट, भक्त होना. ओके, कोई गणपति का भक्त रहता है, वैसे ही सेम तानाजी मालुसरे was the devotee of Shivaji Maharaj. He was the devotee of Shivaji Maharaj. कुछ भी शिवाजी उनको बोलो वो कर देते थे. Kondana marriage first. Now what does the Tanaji say to Shivaji Maharaj? Why he said that Kondana marriage should be first, then my child marriage will be happen? Tanaji was busy making preparation for his Raiba's wedding, for his son's Raiba's wedding. Everyone in the house was busy with the marriage preparation. All were very busy of preparation. अभी तुम्हारे घर में भी शादी होती है किसकी, तो you are also very joyful, happy and all that. इधर से उधर भागते रहते हो. कोई मेहंदी लगाता है, कोई नया नया कपड़ा पहनता है. Some of the hairstyles are coming over. पार्लर में जाते हैं, कितना means preparations are there. ढोल्स वाले is coming and all that. Then मेहंदीज are there. So many things are there. The marriage was only 4 days away. 4 दिन बाकी थे शादी के लिए. Tanaji thought that he could go and invite Shivaji Maharaj. What did Tanaji thought? That चलो मेरी भाई लड़की की शादी, so I should go and invite to Shivaji Maharaj for the marriage and Ma Sahib to the wedding, accompanied by the Shilar Mama. वो अपने मामा के साथ वो कार्ड देने आते हैं ना, marriage card. वो वहां लेके चले गए, went to Shivaji Maharaj to give him a masad, his personal invitation to the wedding. On receiving the invitation from Shelar Mama, Shivaji said, Shelar Mama, you go back and celebrate the wedding. I am sorry, I shall be unable to attend. I have decided to lead a campaign for the recapture of Kondana. What did Shivaji Maharaj say to Shelar Mama? तुम जाओ और वेडिंग अटेंड करो, मैं नहीं आ सकता हूँ. Why? Because I want to make a plan to recapture the Kondana fort. After hearing this, ये सुनने के बाद what did Shelar Mama said? As soon as Tanaji heard this, he said, Tanaji Malusari was standing back out of the truck. And who gave the invitation? Shelar Mama gave the invitation to the Shivaji Maharaj. After hearing this, what Tanaji said? अरे जब तानाजी होते हुए आप क्यों जाओगे कैप्चर करने के लिए? आप यहाँ पे बैठो, आराम करो. I will go and capture the fort. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about my son's marriage. पहिले कोंडाणा जिंकू, मग आपण रायबाचं लग्न लावूया. He said like this wordings. Okay. Maharaj, do you process to undertake this difficult and dangerous campaign while Tanaji is still alive? जब तक तानाजी जिंदा है आप क्यों जाओगे वहां पर कैप्चर करने के लिए फोर्ट? Who said this? Tanaji Malusari said to the Shivaji Maharaj. Then what is the use of persons like me? मेरे जैसे आदमी की क्या फिर जरूरत है? Okay, this will not do. I shall first perform the marriage of Konchana by capturing it. रायबा's wedding can wait. रायबा की शादी रुक सकती है पर कोंडाना नहीं रुक सकता है. अगर उसको मुगल के हाथ में चला गया तो फिर से आने वाला नहीं है. So I will capture first the Kondana fort, then we will do the marriage of Raibas. Okay? You must allow me to lead this campaign and give me your blessing for its success. For its success. Then Tanaji started making the plan. Tanaji started making the plan how we will capture Kalyan Gate. Did you saw that movie? I think so. Everyone that Kalyan Gate कैसे उन्होंने capture किया, वो लोग कैसे ऊपर चढ़े. It was so dangerous fort. Everyone saw in the movies and all that. Okay. With this word, Tanaji took charge of campaign and left for the Kondana. Then he went back to his house and told his wife that I cannot be attending the wedding. You attend the wedding. You performed everything what is going on in the wedding. Wedding mat rukao. Okay. I am going to capture the fort Kondana first. Okay. अगर मैं मर भी गया तो भी तू टेंशन मत ले. He said his word to his wife and all that. The fort was then under the immediate control of Uday Bhan. Uday Bhan, did you saw Uday Bhan? Who was Uday Bhan? Saif Ali Khan has did a role of Uday Bhan. He was so cruel. He was only cutting and all that, killing all the persons over there. Okay, he was a Rajput. He was in Maharashtra. Then also he was a Hindu. Then also he was working with the Mughal. He was then also the Mughal officer appointed by Jai Singh. Uday Bhan was a disciplined and vigilant officer. There were two entrances. How many entrances were there? Two entrances was there. Two entrances was there to the fort. Both were heavily guarded by Uday Bhan's men. दो एंट्रेंस थे, उस पर उन्होंने क्या किया था? उदय भान के सोल्जर was standing over that gates. How then the mount and assaulted. हम लोग अभी कैसे उसको assaulted मीन्स कैसे जीत सकते हैं? Tanaji quietly made a detailed inspection of the fort. On the western side, there was a steep precipice where there were no guards. Tanaji decided to attack from that side. बोलते ना वो कहाँ से वो लड़का वहां से जाता है, देखो चोर दरवाजा. इट्स कॉल्ड चोर दरवाजा, जो किसको भी पता नहीं था. One person was also knowing, so he inspected everything. कहाँ से कहाँ जा सकते हैं हम लोग, कहाँ पे उदय बान के men are not standing over there. He saw everything. Okay, Tanaji decided to attack from that side. He explained his plan to his younger brother. उन्होंने अपने छोटे भाई से सब बता दिया. He said, "You take the detachment of 500 troops. 500 आदमियों से troops को आप लेके जाओ. Okay, it's small brother, and try to reach the Kalyan gate. Try to reach the Kalyan gate. With another 300, I shall scale his precipice and get inside the fort. और 300 आदमी के साथ मैं ऊपर चढ़ा जाऊंगा. As soon as we are There we shall throw open the door of Kalyan gate. जैसे मैं ऊपर पहुंचता हूँ मैं कल्याण गेट खोल दूंगा. Okay, that small child opened that gate and all that. He killed and all. उसको देखा है ना? You have saw in the picture. Okay, then you step in. Then I will open the gate and you came inside the fort and join us. और हम लोग को join कर दो. Together we shall destroy the Mughal troops defending the fort. And after this plan, the Kalyan gate was open and the brother of Tanaji Malosere came inside. You saw that, I think so. And they started fighting with the Mughal. With the plan thirst finalized, Suryaji and Tanaji went their different way. Okay? Then they started went their different way. Over the precipice and into the fort. It was dark night. अंधेरी की रात थी. अंधेरा रात पूरी अंधेरी था वहां पर अंधेरा था. Tanaji and his men were gathered at the foot of the precipice, foot of the fort. They were standing over there. जहां से चढ़ना था वहां पे वो खड़े हो गए. The sound of cricket could be heard all around. वो किर्र आ जाता है ना रात को कीड़े का उसका. It's called in cricket. 5 or 6 members of Tanaji party started to scale the precipice. 5 or 6 persons of means from that troop started climbing the fort. Rassi feki thi. Okay, but it's not a rassi, it's shown wrong. They used to climb the fort with the help of lizard. That what is called that ghorpad. I don't know what stage ghorpad. Ghorpad. Did you saw ghorpad? उसको उन्होंने रस्सी बांधी थी. They tied a rope to that chameleon means okay घोरपड़. और वो घोरपड़ को उन्होंने ऊपर चढ़ाया और उसके थ्रू वो लोग ऊपर चढ़े. Okay, like this is the story. It was indeed very high and steep. But somehow they managed to get the foothold in the rock, pulled themselves up by pushing their fingers into the rock, and began the difficult and dangerous climb. लगा के जोर ऊपर चढ़ने लगे. They are putting their fingers in the rocks and all that. घुसा रहे थे और ऊपर चढ़ रहे थे. It was very difficult. Slowly but surely they reached the top. धीरे धीरे कुछ ना हो पर वो ऊपर चढ़ चुके और वहां पे पहुंच गए. As soon as they were on the safe ground, they tied a thick rope to a strong trees and let it down the precipice. और उन्होंने वो रोप ऊपर जाके बांधी और नीचे छोड़ दिया. जो नीचे थे ट्रूप्स वाले persons who were standing over there down, they started climbing फटाफट to the fort. The other took hold of the rope and climbed up to the top like monkey. They started climbing like to the fast like a monkey. Tanaji's valiant. By now, Suryaji had reached the Kalyan gate. तब तक सूर्याजी brother of Tanaji Malusare has reached to the Kalyan gate. He waited there for the door to be open. वो वहां पे रुके थे. अभी कब डोर ओपन होगा और हम लोग कब अंदर चले जाएंगे. The battle on. The battle started now. The fort started. Udayban heard of the attack. Udayban को सुनाई दिया. Okay, the battle drum was sounded. उन्होंने तुतारी और ड्रम को बजाना चालू कर दिया. Who? The Mughals started. That Marathas has come inside the fort. Udayban garishly attacked Tanaji's men. Udayban आके तलवार लेके तानाजी के men को मारना चालू कर दिया. Grim battle started between the two forces in the light of dancing torches. Dancing torches means वो मशाल के दिए में ही वो लोग उसके उजाले में ही फाइटिंग करना स्टार्ट कर दिया. The Maulas opened the door of the Kalyan gate. Tanaji was fighting like a brave lion. He was fighting like a brave lion. जो एकदम बोलते हैं ना स्ट्रॉन्ग लायन रहता है ना, वो कैसे अकेला ही लड़ता है वैसे वो अकेले ही लड़ रहे थे. Udayban attacked him. Udayban attacked Tanaji Malusuri. Both were very brave and battle between them were frenzy. इतना जोर जोर से battle हुआ कि एक का हाथ टूटा and all that. You had saw. Okay? Tanaji's shield was broken. Tanaji की जो shield रहती है ना, shield वो पहनते हैं वो टूट चुकी थी. So he tied his upper garment जो सिर के ऊपर बांधा हुआ around his defending hand to parry Udayban's blow and continues the fight. In the end, both were mortally wounded and fell fighting. Tanaji had killed Udayban also, and Tanaji also was died. The fort is captured, but the lion is dead. Okay, With the death of Tanaji, the Maulas found themselves into a leaders and began to regret. Then they saw that our leader is died. Who? The Maula saw this, that our leader, Tanaji Marusere, is died. They started running backside. But the brother, Tanaji's brother was there, Suryaji. He shouted on them. His men had arrived in the sense of battle. अरे अपना leader वहाँ पे मरा पड़ा है. Your leader is killed over there and you start running over there like a cowards. तुम लोग डर के मारे वहां से भाग रहे हो. उनको शर्म नहीं आती. Who said this? Suryaji started saying this to the men, Marathas. Come on, come back and kill the Mughals. Okay, he started shouting. Suryaji was deeply grieved to know that his brother was died. Oh, बहुत दुखी हो गए कि मेरा भाई मर चुका है. But he had no time to grieve. उसके पास टाइम नहीं था दुख करने के लिए. He had to continue the fight. He cut off the rope by which the Mawals had climbed the fort. They were running. No, the Maulas were running. They were climbing the fort down because rope was there. Still rope was there. What Suraj did? उन्होंने वो rope ही काट दी जो नीचे जाने वाली थी वो. Then he stood in the path of returning. Maula said, "Don't you see that your father is lying dead here on the battle? Are you not ashamed to run away like a bunch of cowards? तुम लोग को शर्म नहीं है? तुम लोग ऐसे भाग रहे हो? Okay? Turn back and fight, for I have blocked your retreat by cutting off the rope by which you climbed up. मैंने वो rope ही काट डाली जहां से तुम लोग ऊपर आए थे. अभी तुम लोग नीचे नहीं जा सकते. तुम लोग यहाँ पे ही fighting करना पड़ेगा. You are going to kill everyone, the Mughals over here. The only choice before you is either you jump to your death or to precipitate or to turn back and fight to destroy the enemy. So the Marvels returned to the fight and attacked the enemies. Marvels returned to the fight and attacked the enemies. A fresh battle raged. Marvels ultimately conquered the fort, but in the process had lost their brave and lion-hearted leader. They conquered the fort. The Maulas, the Maratha had conquered the fort, but they had lost their lion-hearted leader, Tanaji. Jijamata and Shivaji Maharaj heard the news. After reaching the fort, okay, सब battle खत्म होने के बाद they were struck with grief. Shivaji Maharaj expressed his sorrow in a single sentence. उनको इतना दुख हुआ after the hearing that Tanaji has lost his life, he has died. And Jijamata and Shivaji Maharaj was very much grieved, very much sad. He only said one thing: the fort is won, but the lion is dead. हम लोग ने fort तो जीत लिया, पर हम लोग ने leader को एक lion को खो दिया. So Kondana becomes Sinhagad in memory of the great warrior who gave his life to recapture it. This event took place in 1670. Later on, Shivaji Raje personally went to Umred and performed the wedding of Raiba. This took place in 1670. In 1670, this fight took place. After this overall that thing, Shivaji went to Tanaji's village and did his son's wedding ceremony himself. और खुद जाके उन्होंने रायबा की शादी करवाई. Shivaji Maharaj did his, okay, Raiba's wedding. Shivaji Maharaj ki jai. Everyone understood the chapter, children?
Kondana's marriage first, Tanaji's plan, over the Pacific and into the fort, Tanaji valor. The fort is captured, but the lion is dead. So students, let's start with our first point. Jijamata's wish. The 23 forts which Shivaji in the hands of the Mughal. Kondana was one of those 23 forts. One day, Jijamata said to Shivaji, "Shiva, it is not safe to leave the strong Kondana fort in enemy's hands. You must recapture it." Shivaji was thinking on the same line. He was very unhappy that Kondana was in Mughals' hands. Both Shivaji and Jijabai Sahib were unhappy about it. It was like a thorn in their side. Shivaji started making his plan for the recapture of Kondana. Who would be entrusted with this task? It was very difficult to capture Kondana. Tanaji Mansuri. Tanaji was Shivaji's comrade right from the beginning. He came from the village Undrat near Mahad in the Konkan. He was very ever ready to put his heart and soul into any work assigned to him by Shivaji. Tanaji was strong and well-built and as clever as he was brave. He was passionately devoted to Shivaji. Kondana's marriage first. Tanaji was busy making preparation for his son Raiba's wedding. Everyone in the house was busy in the marriage preparation. The marriage was only 4 days away. Tanaji thought that he could go and invite Shivaji Maharaj and Ma Sahib to the wedding. Accompanied by Shelar Mama, he went to Shivaji Maharaj to give him and Ma Sahib his personal invitation to the wedding. On receiving the invitation from the Shelar Mama, Shivaji said, Shelar Mama, you go and celebrate the wedding. I am sorry, I shall be unable to attend. I have decided to lead the campaign for the recapture of Kondana. As soon as Tanaji heard this, he said, Maharaj, do you purpose to undertake this difficult and dangerous campaign while Tanaji is still alive? Then what is the use of a person like me? This will not do. I shall first perform the marriage of Kondana by capturing it. Raiba's wedding can wait. You must allow me to lead this campaign and give me your blessing for its success. Tanaji's plan. With these words, Tanaji took charge of the campaign and left for Kondana. The fort was under the immediate control of Uday Bhan, a Rajput officer appointed by Jaisin. Uday Bhan was disciplined and rugged officer. There were two entrances to the fort. Both were heavily guarded by Uday Bhan men. How then to mount an assault? Tanaji quietly made a detailed inspection of the fort. On the western side, there was a steep precipice where there no man guarded. Tanaji decided to attack from that side. He explained his plan to his younger brother. He said, you take a detachment of 500 troops and try to reach Kalyan Gate. With other 300, I shall scale the precipice and get inside the fort. As soon as we are there, we shall open the doors of the Kalyan Gate. Then you step in and join us. Together we shall destroy the Mughal troops defending the fort. With the plan those finalized, Suryaji and Dhanati went their different ways over the precipice and into the fort. It was a dark night. Tanaji and his men were gathered at the foot of the precipice. The sound of crickets and had been heard all around. 5 or 6 members of Tanaji party started to scale the precipice. It was indeed very high and steep, but somehow they managed to get a foothold in the rock, pull themselves up by pushing their fingers into rocks crack and begin the difficult and dangerous climb. Slowly but surely they reach the top As soon as they were on the safeguard, they tied a thick rope to a strong tree and led down to the precipice. The other took hold the rope and climbed up to the top like monkeys. Tanaji bellowed. By now, Suraji heard reached the Kalyan gate. He waited there for the doors to open. The battle on the fort started. Udaybhan heard of this attack. The battle drums were sounded. Udaybhan's gracious attacked Tanaji's man. The grim battle started between two forces in the light of dancing torch. The Mavlas opened the doors of the Kalyan gate. Tanaji was fighting like a brave lion. Udaybhan attacked him. Both were very brave and the battle between them was fierce. Tanaji's shield was broken, so he had tied his upper garment around his defending hand to bear Udaybhan's ball and continued to the fight. In the end, both the mortally would be fell fighting. The fort is captured, but the lion is dead. With the death of Tanaji, the Maulas found themselves without a leader and began to retreat. By then, Suryaji and his men had arrived on the scene of the battle. Suryaji saw deeply grieved to know that his brother was dead, but he had no time for grief. He had to continue the fight. He cut off the rope by which the Maulas climbed the fort. Then he stood in the path of the retreating Maulas and said, "Don't you see that your father is laying dead here on the battlefield? Are you not ashamed to run away like a bunch of cowards? Turn and back and fight, or have a block your trade by cutting of those ropes by which you climbed up. The only choice before you is either to jump to your death or precipice, to turn back and fight, destroy the enemy." So the Mavlas returned to the fight and attacked the enemies. A fierce battle brigade, the Mavlas ultimately conquered the fort, but in the process had lost their brave and lion-hearted leader, Tanaji. Jijamata and Shivaji Maharaj heard this news. They were struck with the grief. Shivaji Maharaj expressed their sorrow in a single sentence: "The fort is owned, but the lion is dead." So Kondana becomes Sinhagad in the memory of great warrior who gave his life to recapture it. This event took place in 1670. Later on, Shivaji Maharaj personally went to Umrat and performed the wedding of Raiba. Hope students, you
Understood, children, now? Yes.
The lion is dead. It was twilight. Jijamata was standing at the balcony. She was gazing at a strategic fort at a distance. She could see the green flag of the Mughals fluttering over the fort. Just then, Shivaji came there. He noticed that Jijamata was looking at the fort and that something was disturbing her. He asked her, "Mother, what is it?" Jijamata said, "The green flag over the Kondana fort is disturbing me, Shivba." "It is disturbing me too," said Shivaji. He called for a meeting with his trusted soldiers. Shivaji said, "We need to capture the Kondana fort. Who amongst you would volunteer to win over the fort for us?" Everybody was quiet. All of a sudden, somebody from the crowd stood up and said, "I shall win Kondana for you." Shivaji noticed it was Tanaji Malusare who had volunteered. Tanaji was his childhood friend and indeed a very brave soldier. Tanaji had actually come there along with his brother Suryaji to invite Shivaji for his son Raiba's wedding. Shivaji said, "I shall appoint somebody else for this mission." Tanaji stood up. "I will win over Kondana first. Raiba's wedding can wait." Shivaji was touched by his loyalty and appointed Tanaji for the dangerous mission. At midnight, Tanaji reached near the foothill of Kondana along with 500 soldiers. They all accumulated in the dense forest under the fort. Uday Bhan, a Rajput general, was in charge of the fort. The fort was almost impossible to scale. There were only 2 entrance doors. There was a deep cliff on one of the sides and there were no guards on that side. Tanaji chose this unguarded side for his entry into the fort. He had brought along his pet Ghorpad, a reptile that can cling onto rocks. Tanaji tied a rope to this Ghorpad and hurled it on to the rock wall. Twice, the Ghorpad slipped. Tanaji was furious. He angrily spoke to her. "Yashwanti, don't make me angry or I will chew you up." And this time, she clung onto the wall. Quickly, the soldiers started climbing up the walls and reached the top of the fort. They took the Mughal soldiers by surprise. Then began a fierce battle between the Mawlas and the Mughal guards. Tanaji was indulged in a fierce attack when Uday Bhan joined the scene. They were like 2 storms trying to cut through one another. As they fought, Uday Bhan struck Tanaji's shield so hard that it broke into pieces. He pulled off his turban and wrapping it around his hand, he started fighting again. They fought and finally, severely injured, both the valiant fighters fell. On seeing Tanaji dead, the Mawala soldiers started fleeing. Tanaji's brother Suryaji cut off the rope that they were trying to escape from. He said to them, "Can you face Shivaji Maharaj and tell him that you are all cowards? You have only one choice. Be brave and finish the mission." Motivated by his words, the Mawala soldiers attacked the Mughal guards with even more vigor. Finally, the Mughals fled. The Mawlas had taken over the fort. Shivaji was waiting at his balcony when he saw a bonfire on the fort. He knew his soldiers had won. The Mawlas were victorious. The next day, when the report of the victory came to Shivaji, he asked Suryaji, "Where is Tanaji?" With tears in his eyes, Suryaji said, "Maharaj, we have won the fort, but we have lost Tanaji." Shivaji was numb. He could not believe that he had lost Tanaji. He said, "We won the fort, but have lost our lion."